Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that this Brainstorm.
Yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one. Welcome to Brainstorm. Learning a foreign language, how to meet the challenge. That is a topic we're going to consider today in this program. Here are some of the key questions we're going to try to find the answer. Why is the acquisition of a foreign language necessary today? What kind of problem the knowledge of English can solve in the Democratic Republic of Congo? And what does it take to learn and speak English as quickly as possible? Here on this platform, I'm proud, just an honor to welcome a man who will be able to try to explain all these questions in detail. The name is Mr. Augustin Bueno Mukwama. How are you doing, sir?
Very good today. What about you?
My pleasure to welcome you on this stage.
I'm honored today.
Yes, very first time.
My first time to have you.
I'm pleased to introduce you my guest. Augustin is a teacher of English, an interpreter, a translator, and APST inspector. I got it right?
Of course, yeah.
Yes, let's get into it. Learning a foreign language, how to meet the challenge. This is the topic we're going to consider in this program. What do you grasp by foreign language?
Okay, thank you for the floor. A foreign language is any language which is not used in a community, but you can learn it either outside the school or at school. In short, that is a foreign language. I take the case of Kinshasa. Our local language, or the language you use in Kinshasa, is Lingala and French, I can say. Once you learn English, it means English is your foreign language because you can learn it from the center, from high school, secondary school, and so on. That's what I mean by a foreign language.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, what are those languages we can easily access to?
It depends on the individual. For example, let's take from the colonization of DRC or Congo, we could learn easily French or Flemish, and when the Protestant missionaries came in Congo, they brought also English. That's why we are trying to learn it. And apart from that, we have also Portuguese from the influence of our neighbors. We try to learn it, and we have also other languages like Spanish, and because of the development of the word.
Okay, but you yourself, what kind of language, how many languages you know? A foreign language.
Foreign language. Okay, I know something like English, French, and I like very much Portuguese. I try to learn it, but I'm a beginner.
Whenever we talk about foreign languages, so can we make a difference between a foreign language and an official language?
Okay,
in
of
a country
course.
like the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Yeah, a foreign language, as I said, or any language which is not used in Kinshasa, for example, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, since our ancestors, apart from our tribal languages or dialects, we have, for example, French, Lingala, and so on. Whereas official language is the language which the colonizers brought in our country, and is the language first we use in administration, in education, for example, in official conferences and or ceremonies. That is called official. I mean French in the case of Congo.
Thanks. We'd like you, the audiences, to watch because we talk about the foreign languages. So now, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, there are many local languages. Some of them are well known. And what has become of some of the local languages? Please watch this video and we'll be back.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is home to a tenth of the world's languages. In the capital Kinshasa, Kokolet Kolo was born a Luba, a people who come from the central part of the country, mainly in the troubled Kasai region. But she cannot speak Shiluba. She is fluent in Swahili, Kinyarwanda, Lingala, and French. She is worried that some of the local languages will become extinct in a few years to come. I don't believe that my mother tongue will still exist in 10 or 15 years to come. It will disappear because we, the parents, are not speaking Shiluba. And how can we teach it to our children? It is difficult. Today, our children do not learn the Shiluba, Lingala, the Lomongo, the Kingwaka, the Kingwandi, the Kimbala, the Kisuku at school. There are almost 450 languages. We are told that it prevents development. No, it is knowingly done, and by those who colonized us, Belgium first and all the others. Today, America has taken over. While some in the country of over 70 million people may speak several local languages, the upwardly mobile will often teach their children only French or French and English.
Right. DRC is a former Belgian colony or settlement. But why do Congolese people speak French rather than Flemish and other? But French. Why not learn the settlers' language?
Okay, historians, I'm not an historian, they say in Belgium there are two major languages. We have French and Flemish. Unfortunately, when they came here, they use, I think, I wasn't born at that time, I've got the impression that they use French more than Flemish. That's why maybe French today has become the leading language, the leading official language in Congo.
Okay. A lot of people today have the drive or want just to, they motivated to learn foreign languages. Among other, there are English, Spanish, Portuguese, and so. So is there any need, or is there learning those languages are necessary today?
Very necessary today because of the evolution of the world and because of jobs of also employment. Now, among the requirements of getting a best job or a good job, we have the knowing of the English language, we have the computer sciences, you should know how to use computer. Those are the two best requirements to get a best job today. That's why we should follow the world, how the world is going on.
We should follow the world. That's true.
Of course, yeah, that's true.
The world today is
otherwise you will be out of dated.
Yes, out of the game, or you won't be you won't be able to adjust to the globalization today. The world today is a global village. So, what are some benefits or advantages of learning a foreign language? Please watch this video, and we'll be back.
Hey, have you been noticing this change? A change that is bringing this world closer at a pace never ever seen before? Yes, I am talking of the change as a result of globalization. Globalization, no wonder, is triumphing in bringing people and cultures together for the good of humanity. When globalization is becoming a reality, this reality demands from all stakeholders to put more passion into believing the concept. When you are in Rome, be a Roman. Learning each other's culture and languages has become the need of the hour for us to empathize and appreciate each other's way of living. Imagine you are an employer of a Japanese organization working from outside Japan. How awesome and impressive it would be if you managed to converse with your Japanese peers in Japanese. You would be on their good books for sure. Imagine getting a scholarship and admission calls from the best of universities because you are bilingual. Absolutely dream come true, isn't it? Imagine speaking in Spanish when you are on a South American tour. You would certainly make your jaunt more comfortable and memorable. Imagine reading and appreciating French arts, movies, and poetry that are considered to be the finest on the planet. Imagine speaking, reading, and writing in English. For sure, you will be a good candidate to get your dream job in English-speaking nations. Imagine conversing in Mandarin with locals in China, savoring their martial arts, food, and culture. What an amazing experience it would be. With all these feelings of awesomeness, learning a new language and appreciating different cultures bring to the table another set of benefits, such as enhanced cognitive skills and perceptions, enhanced memory and ability to multitask, improved decision-making capabilities. With all these gains, who wouldn't want to be smarter and successful? If you think you can make time to be more global in perception and thoughts, then learning a foreign language is apt for you.
Now let's focus on a specific language. We have a foreign language English, which is
Okay.
not an official language in Democratic Republic of Congo. So, do you really need English in the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Yes, we need it because English is now the language of business. The world is moving together with business. You see, and I can say the best investors around the world come from English people. You see, when we compare, for example, Nigeria or other countries, other English countries, we see they are a bit in advance comparing to French colonies and like DRC and Congo Brazzaville and the others. I think it's better to follow that. And apart from that, you see, we as researchers or scientists, the best books also are written in English. He can be a Frenchman, but he writes something, he prefers to write in English. Why? I think there is something which is hidden there. We should also follow. And English is leading the world. We cannot forget that.
Yeah, English leads the
It's
world.
leading the world.
You may be right, and even though you can try to emphasize on
Yeah.
that fact, is it true that people today have a longing for English?
Okay.
So there is a great wave of Congolese flocking to various English centers to learn it. How do you account for this trend? And many people today want to go to center to learn English.
Yes, because we, as inspectors of English at EPST, we failed. We failed to reach the objective of the teaching of English at EPST. Most of our teachers, I was in that group, but thanks to some advanced classes we are having, if Professor Itangaza from Ifasika, I greet him, I tell you they failed because of the bad methodology and unqualified teachers. At EPST, we focus only by giving pupils English linguistic knowledge to help them, to enable them pass the exam, state exam, quiz at school, and so on. But the best or the more important objective of learning any language is communication. We do not focus on that. We focus only on teaching people a bookish English, I can say. That's why you see the center, English centers around Kinshasa are getting money for that. Because when you go to the center, after 1 week, you are able to speak English. But when you come at EPST, we spend 6 years from the first and I can say 7th year we used to call premier secondaire up to the 4th one or the 6th form. If we calculate, we spend 1,333 days, but a learner is unable to speak English. How come?
So it means
It's
that
a confusion.
you have a different methodology.
Of course.
One taught in high school.
Yes,
and
they focus on that.
Okay, that's really a
A
problem.
big problem.
And then people also sometimes don't find a need, especially school boys and girls, to learn English. They ask themselves, what kind of social problems can the knowledge of English solve in the Democratic Republic of Congo? Because to be devoted in what they are learning, they need to find a need or the benefit in social life.
That's true. We call it in linguistics, it is a social status of a language. They know that. The problem you see nowadays, you can see the book. I've written the book. Why? Because I'm training EPST teachers to do so. Among the reasons that our learners are not interested in that, because of also the bad teachers. They do not push the learners to speak English. They do not tell the learners the importance of using English today around the world. And people, now can English work? But if you refuse English today, it's going to follow you. It's like the politician used to say, it's going to take care of you.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the same situation.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, I tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know that many people, especially Congolese, like and love English. They want to learn it, do their best. They go to different centers to learn English. Why learning English is very important today. There are some applications and benefits in society. Please watch this video and we'll be back.
Why is learning English so important in today's world? This is the most common question I come across all over the internet. Hello, my dear learners of English language. Welcome to myabcenglish.com. I'm your facilitator, Tamir. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to learn more. Well, there are endless reasons for learning English, but I would list down the most important ones for you to help you understand its growing importance in the ever-changing global scenario. The most important reason for learning English is that English is an international medium of communication all over the world. In this era of globalization, when the entire world is getting closer to each other, English happens to be the sole medium of communication amongst the speakers of English as a second language. and therefore learning English is no more a matter of choice. The second most important reason for learning English is its domination as the only medium of communication amongst the global workforce. This is clearly visible nowadays, as almost every company on the planet wants its workforce to be fluent in English. Therefore, it won't be an exaggeration to call it as a lingua franca of the global workforce. The third most important reason for learning English is it is the leading language of digital communication. The entire globe is interacting in English all over the internet. More than half of the websites over the internet use English as a medium of communication. English being an official language in around 53 countries of the world is certainly the most powerful business language globally. The next reason for learning English is well known to every job seeker these days. Speaking English increases the chances of getting a good job in a multinational company in your home country or finding a job overseas. It is also the language of international communication, the media, and the internet. So learning English is vital for socializing and entertaining as well as working. The next major reason to learn English. For English, you can learn worldwide because English is spoken in so many different countries. There are thousands of schools and universities around the world offering English language programs. When you speak English, there are plenty of resources for you to find a suitable school and course suited to your academic needs. Finally, being able to communicate in English makes it easier to travel. Because English is spoken as a first or second language in so many different countries, it is always easy to find English speakers. Looking at the ever-growing importance of English as a lingua franca, English is likely to remain a globally dominant language for many years to come. Well, now having understood its importance as a global language, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to keep learning this all-important global language of today, as well as the coming future.
Right. Now, a great deal of Congolese long for English, but they're unable to speak it. Why? They go to study.
Yeah.
There are even those who go to center.
Yeah.
Now, I don't refer to those who go to study English at school and go to study in different centers. But those who have just to spend a few times in a center, they learn, but they are not able to practice, to speak, and so on. But you, as a teacher of English, you are now there to explain to them in a practical ways what could be done.
No, the problem is, as just I said, methodology. Today, we have many kinds of methodology. The past or the traditional ones and the new now can be resumed into one. Today, we need a communicative approach. This is what I'm teaching EPST schools. They are very lucky.
What does it mean, communicative approach?
Briefly speaking, it means teach the learner what he needs to speak English. I'll take an example. You come to teach the people the present perfect tense is used to express an action. What does the learner need with that? Nothing.
On the ground, he doesn't
know. On the ground, he doesn't need it. Teach him, for example, how to greet, for example, how to welcome guests at home, how to apologize, how to thank somebody, how to ask a good hotel around, for example. It's what they need. And if you go to Cali, if you go to Cambridge, for example, university, because I lack the Cambridge books, you won't see the title of the lesson, today we study the present perfect tense of verb. No, it doesn't exist. Teach them the major questions, because a conversation or a dialogue is a game of question-answer. Okay. When they master the main questions, they will be able. They know, for example, when I ask the question with why, I want to know the cause. If I say where, I want to know the place, to locate, things like that. That's all.
There's a major concern about English. Sometimes it seems very complex. When people want to learn a language, sometimes they wonder, can English be viewed as a science or a language?
Both of them. Both of them. English is a science. If you want to learn it as a science, go to university. At secondary school, yes, we try to give some elements, important elements. But what we need from the secondary school is we are considered as beginners of English. What we need is first focus on communication, and then you can take them some elements of linguistics, some notion. As you see, this book contains the major notion of a language. We call it the part of speech, which the learners need to express or to communicate. But don't focus on teaching the language. No, we teach them communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Teaching communication.
Yeah,
that's
we teach communication,
important.
not the language.
We talked about a lot of things like methodologies. We talked about what can be done, the quality teachers in order to ensure a better education in English. But we'd like you to focus your attention on this video that highlights the need for a school or students or even pupils to learn English, specifically in the field of education. Please watch and be back.
If you're already dreaming in English, I mean, it's like you're already there. Definitely in science, you find all the documentation, books, conferences, proceedings, and all the literature out there is mainly in English.
All the top journals are English-speaking journals or English-written journals. All the communication at international top meetings are in English. The core information exchange platform is English. If you want to find out what the top scientists in the world are doing, you need to know English. I think Fraunhofer is well known for its development of the MP3 technology, disease control in aquaculture, the application of nanotechnology, and we're using biocomputing to do data analysis of large data sets.
At Fraunhofer, English is a must. You are guaranteed to have to communicate with people in English almost on a daily basis.
We had an employee who we would really like to hire, but his English proficiency isn't very good and he needs to work on a project which involves European partners.
I have a lot of stories of people that either A, don't even dare to apply for jobs, or B, they apply for jobs but they don't get them because they can't even go through an interview.
There are issues about communications based on many people's inability to be fluent in English.
We definitely need English skills here. English has really helped me to communicate with people not only in Germany and also here in Chile, but with people from different backgrounds.
Learning English has granted me the opportunity to work in a more innovative environment.
Without English, it would be impossible to play any role on international collaborations like the one which we're having here in Chile.
Okay, let's move slowly to the end of our show. But before we are moving, what does it take to learn and speak English as quickly as possible? Because there are many methodologies. As a teacher of English, what can be done to learn and speak English as quickly as possible?
I think after 1 week, a new or a beginner can start speaking in English. The problem is to go slowly. And I tell you, according to the biggest or to the famous linguist, they say we learn a new language unconsciously. You see, it's like building a house, one brick after another, and you will see the house is over. We go slow. From 1 week, I can say, you start. For example, greeting people. You start introducing yourself. You start, for example, welcoming people, introducing your friends to others. That's it.
And from your own experience, what are some challenges? There are some challenges to learn English. You can tell some of them. And then explain, because to be pragmatic, to be realistic, not everything is not so easily. Maybe you found it easily when you were learning English, but be pragmatic by telling people what are some difficulties.
Some difficulties from the teacher first.
Yes.
the teacher should master new approach of teaching a foreign language. For example, the communicative approach or Duolingo, things like that, but it is included in communicative. That is apart from the teacher. And master also the language itself, the main concept of the language or the part of speech of a language. And from the learners, they should have also an objective. Why are you learning your language? Why do you come to the center, for example? Why do you like to speak English? And when they are motivated, so I think everything is going to be okay. And the teacher is there to coach them. He's a simple coach, to coach them, to guide them, not say this and that. And I think that's going to
really
be very
good.
important.
That's really good. We'd like you to watch this video because we wish that you learn English. This is our wish, that those who want the desire to learn, to tell you what are some challenges. This video tells you some of them, and then watch. Please, we'll be back.
14-year-old Roberto Gomez loves to learn.
Do you like school?
La verdad mucho, sí.
You really like school a lot.
His family moved from Mexico to San Antonio, Texas less than 2 years ago, and he's been trying to learn English ever since.
Difficult to find ways to practice.
He was a star student, but says his classes got harder when they went virtual last semester.
Why are those virtual classes harder?
Because I don't have direct contact with the teachers.
Roberto is one of 5 million public school students learning English as a second language, a challenge that can be especially hard for many Latino students, since more than 40% of Latino families don't have a computer.
And so what are you usually doing your work on?
I do it in my phone.
So you're doing your homework on your phone? Wow.
Roberto's family of 5 shares one laptop. Even when he can access his assignments, he's on his own.
¿Y habla usted inglés? Do you speak English?
No.
Roberto's mom says he's been losing some of the English he's already learned since the pandemic.
Yo le ayudaba a hacer la actividad, les ayudaba un poquito en lo que yo podía.
I was helping them with as much as I could with the activities.
Pero no es suficiente.
But it really isn't sufficient.
It's a challenge Roberto's teacher is also up against.
Our school systems aren't really set up to support migrant families to begin with. And now with remote learning, that's just carrying over into that.
For families of students with special needs, those challenges can become even more difficult. How do you help those students who need that social, in-person interaction to thrive? That's what our Telemundo colleague, Nicole Suarez, went to find out.
That's right, Morgan. About 700,000 special needs students here in the U.S. are also English language learners, leaving many immigrant parents to provide speech, occupational, and behavioral therapy at home. 6-year-old twins Rocio and Emma do everything together.
Rocio, tell me how much you love your sister.
Like this.
They love dressing up as princesses and dancing. But when it comes to learning, their needs are different. Emma has autism and is nonverbal.
Does Emma miss going to school? Can you see it in her?
At first she has stress, a big stress, because the autistic children, they need a schedule.
At school, Emma's needs were met with a teacher, aide, and 7 different therapists every week. Roles that her mother Soledad had to take on overnight.
I have to run from one side of the house to the other side of the house with different computers so they can concentrate very well in her stuff.
Adding to the challenge for Latino parents of special needs children is the lack of information in Spanish, which is why Soledad created a website with information to try and help others.
It seems like through all this you've kind of had to step up even more and become even more of a super mom.
A little bit.
Do you ever sit back and, I don't know, break down? Let the emotions get to you?
A lot of times, yes. A lot of times. But you know, you have to be a mom. That's the moms do. It's like be there for your children.
No matter what their needs. For NBC News, Nicole Suarez, Noticias Telemundo.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Which English is better? I mean, You teach English. What kind of English do you teach? Formal or informal English?
Okay. Normally, we have categories of a language. Any language has its category. We, as intellectuals, we teach them a classical English, I mean formal English. The language of someone who has passed by school. As you can see here in my small book here, I put two flags here, British or England and American. There are two blocks, major blocks we refer to. Any blocks has its formal English or its standard English. But nowadays I used to hear people, no, I like American or I like British English. That depends on you.
That's all the accents? Maybe
that's the accent. They don't know what they are saying. That's the accent, but the English is one, the classical. That's why they say IPR, international pronunciation. We refer to the same pronunciation for both sides. We call them sides or tendency. It's not a problem.
Okay, to take off in terms of development, DRC should be part of Commonwealth, then Francophonie countries. What is your comments?
Both sides are not bad. But what we need is to take the side of the one who is pushing people to go ahead. When we go to literature, African literature, we see this is another polemic between English-speaking countries and French-speaking countries. We see English people let people free to choose the side they feel better. But the French people try to assimilate people, think that this is not our concern here. But what is important, in my opinion, is to follow good models. When we see the powerful countries in the world, I take the example of USA. English people, we should follow them.
You think that Democratic Republic of Congo is or will be ready to adopt English as a second official language?
I like that question. That is the expectation of my brother Muse Kabila. He wanted this country to become a bilingual one.
Why?
Good idea. You see, for example, Nigeria, South Africa, English-speaking country. They are trying to go a bit ahead. Comparing to French people, we have long sentences of French. But they do, we do not do something with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who want to learn English, we'd like you to do so. There are some tips on how to learn English in the best and fastest way. Please watch this video and we'll be back.
It's very difficult, of course. You're slightly disadvantaged if it's not your mother tongue. But there are ways to do it very well. Firstly, it's really important to read English literature. Just read an English novel. If you were going to use it in your mother tongue, read it in the original language. Look at English films. Just get familiar with how the language is spoken. Read the news and views sections of journals like Nature and the equivalent. They use beautiful language, the editors. Just read what the editorials say and just learn to use the language that way. So it's usually very, very much reading it first, then you can write a lot better. Also, speaking is very important. So every opportunity to present your work at a meeting, even if it's only among your fellows, only 6 of you in the room, present it always in English. Never ever be tempted to do it in your mother language because you'll never learn how to do it. It's quite a challenge to actually get in some groups people to do that. But it's important to realise there's been some statistics done about top groups. And top groups tend to have more than 50% of the people are foreigners, whichever country it is, which means the mother language in the group, independent of where it is in the whole world, is the speaking language is English. And that's, you want to make sure you join an English-speaking group. The best way, of course, is to go and do a postdoc in an English-speaking lab in America or in the UK. Then you really learn it well.
Okay, thanks. Now, the last question we're going to ask, could the challenge of learning a foreign language be met someday as far as English is concerned, specifically in the Democratic Republic of Congo?
And the challenge of learning English, acquiring English, and learning English, there are two problems there. You acquire something which is new, and you learn it to produce. Yes, we can improve it. You see the way the world is going on, and the majority now of people are more and more interested in learning English, even older people.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Augustin, for coming on this program just to answer these questions on English.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
I'm delighted.
Yeah.
We are very pleased at the end of this program. It was very interesting to host a man who is good at explaining what is English and some of the challenges people face when they learn English and what kind of methodologies that could be applied in order to learn it in the best and the fastest way. So we were happy to have you many watch this program. It's not all. There are many other issues that will be dealt during this program. So we'd like you to stay focused on this second national channel. Take care of yourself and goodbye. Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation, yeah.
And we know that this brainstorm.
Yourself after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one.